The world is filled with tales of haunted objects and ghostly encounters, but few stories are as chilling and enigmatic as that of Robert the Doll. Named after its former owner, Robert Eugene Otto, it has garnered attention and speculation for its alleged paranormal activity and the misfortunes that have fallen upon those who crossed its path. We will examine the accounts of paranormal experiences and the curses associated with this unsettling toy. We will also let you know where you can visit this famous doll and the legends that are part of its story. Don't forget to click the like button, check under your bed, dim the lights, and let's get started. The story of Robert the Doll begins with its original owner, Robert Eugene Otto, a Key West resident and artist renowned for his eccentricity. The doll, said to have been manufactured by the esteemed Steiff Company of Germany, was purchased by Otto's grandfather during a trip to Germany in 1904. It was given to him as a birthday present, dressed in a sailor suit that looked just like one he wore as a child. In another version of this story, Robert the Doll was given Jean by a mysterious Jamaican servant who handcrafted the doll with amazing detail and hexed it in retaliation for some wrongdoing. Regardless of how it got to the boy, a deep and inexplicable bond formed between the young boy and his doll from the very beginning. Robert treated the doll as if it were a living person, giving it his own name and often engaging in conversations and playing with it. Little did anyone know that this innocent childhood friendship would evolve into something much more mysterious and disturbing. The haunting story of Robert the Doll begins with a series of unexplained paranormal phenomena. One particular night, Jean woke up to find Robert sitting at the foot of his bed, making the boy scream for his mother. Jean's mother responded to his cries and discovered him in a state of terror, while Robert remained seated at the bed's edge. This was the first indicator that something unexplained was happening. After this, there were many nights where the Otto's parents would wake up only to find their poor boy screaming and surrounded by overturned furniture. As the boy grew older, Robert became even more malicious, as mutilated toys started appearing in the Otto's home, and young Otto would cry, "Robert did it!" Once, a plumber who had been hired to make repairs around Otto's home claimed to hear children's laughter, though no one was home at the time. When he looked around the room, the plumber noticed that Robert the Doll had moved from one side of the window to the other, seemingly on his own. What's more, the plumber swore that objects that had been in Robert's lap ended up on the other side of the room, as if he'd thrown them. As Jean grew older, he inherited the Otto family home and carried the doll with him throughout his life. Even as an adult, Robert continued to confide in his friend. The doll remained stored in the Otto family home in Key West while Robert Eugene Otto studied art in New York and Paris. During this time, Otto married Annette Parker in Paris on May 3, 1930. After their marriage, the couple moved to Key West and lived in the family home until Otto's death in 1974. Otto designed a special room for Robert in the attic, complete with furniture, toys, and even a teddy bear of Robert's own. But Otto's wife Anne had a peculiar intuition about Robert and decided to confide in Jean to safeguard their home. She requested Jean to secure Robert in the attic, as she felt uneasy around him. Robert was allegedly not fond of this. He is said to have repeatedly weaseled his way out and situated himself in a chair facing out of an upstairs window, where he could be seen by passers-by below. People who passed 534 Eaton Street soon avoided walking near the house altogether. Locals swore that the doll would disappear and then reappear facing another direction, or that his gaze would follow them as they passed. Visitors inside the artist house also claimed that they could hear footsteps coming from the attic and that things would seem to move about the home on their own, with no explanation. Even Jean was astonished to discover Robert sitting in the upstairs bedroom, despite being previously locked up in the attic. This bizarre incident continued to happen multiple times, leaving everyone in the house puzzled and frightened. Perhaps the most notorious tale involves a neighborhood girl who, upon looking into Robert's glass eyes, became overwhelmed with terror and promptly fell into a severe illness. Many believe that Robert possessed a malevolent energy capable of inflicting misfortune and harm upon those who disrespected or mocked it. Following their deaths, the Eaton Street home, which contained the doll, was sold to Myrtle Reuter. She owned the property for 20 years until it was eventually sold to the current owners, who now operate it as a guest house. But as you probably expect, the true story of Robert the Doll doesn't end here. The Reuter family's 10-year-old daughter chanced upon Robert the Doll while exploring the attic and was initially overjoyed at the discovery. However, her joy was short-lived as she soon claimed the doll was sentient and harbored malicious intent towards her. The child's distress escalated to the point where she woke up frequently in the middle of the night screaming in terror and alleging that Robert was moving about her room. Following this, the doll was turned over and currently resides in the East Martello Fort, where it is a popular attraction for visitors from all over the globe. Believers in the curse argue that the negative energy surrounding Robert the Doll has caused a series of misfortunes, accidents, and tragedies throughout its history. From financial ruin to health issues, those who have encountered the doll or shown disrespect towards it have allegedly faced dire consequences. Numerous accounts have surfaced, recounting the ill fate of those who have disregarded Robert's curse. In 2009, one TripAdvisor user, Howard R.K., shared a chilling experience after snapping a picture of the doll without seeking its permission. He described how all the pictures taken during his visit to Key West mysteriously vanished, leaving him perplexed and unsettled. As I snapped the picture, I looked at my camera, which said no images. All the 50-plus photos we took in Key West were suddenly gone. We went parasailing the next day, and the boat captain recorded us in the air. Got back home and the disc was blank. We went to a camera store, and they could find no reason why our pictures were gone and why the disc was empty. I have also been hearing some strange noises during the night since I've been home. Traditionally, Robert's curse was limited to those who encountered him in person, particularly rude photographers who failed to seek permission before capturing his likeness. However, as technology has evolved, so too has the scope of Robert's curse. Anyone who stumbles upon a picture of him on social media is now believed to be subject to his malevolent influence. This revelation has sparked a surge in online apologies, with users sharing their experiences and urging others to follow suit. By uttering the words "Sorry, Robert," individuals symbolically acknowledge their awareness of the doll's presence and express respect for the unknown forces that govern our lives. Over the years, numerous paranormal investigations and researches have been conducted on the famous Fort East Martello Museum's haunted doll in an attempt to shed light on its hauntings and paranormal activity. Prominent paranormal investigators, such as those from renowned television shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters, have dedicated episodes to exploring the doll's mysteries. They used sophisticated equipment and techniques to capture potential evidence of the supernatural, including EVP recordings, thermal imaging cameras, and EMF detectors. Additionally, independent paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, and Fort East Martello Museum curators have documented their experiences and conducted their investigations. Some have reported hearing disembodied voices, witnessing the doll's movements, or feeling an eerie presence in its vicinity. A group of paranormal investigators conducted an overnight vigil at the museum in 2003. During their stay, they captured chilling EVP, electronic voice phenomenon recordings, catching faint whispers and unexplained noises believed to originate from the doll. If you have a fascination for the macabre and a desire to witness the haunting presence of Robert the Doll, the Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, is the place to visit. Located at 3501 South Roosevelt Boulevard, Key West, Florida, the Fort East Martello Museum offers visitors an opportunity to come face-to-face with this infamous haunted doll. The doll is housed in a specially designed display case, protecting it from damage. The display also includes informative panels, photographs, and letters from individuals seeking the doll's forgiveness or release from the curse. So if you decide to go see Robert, it is important that you don't forget to approach the encounter with respect and caution, and to always ask Robert for permission before taking his picture. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the true story of Robert the Doll. We hope you found it as fascinating and chilling as we did. If you enjoyed this video, don't miss our exploration of the haunting tale of Annabelle. Click the link in the description to dive into her story. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.